everyone, Senrai here, back with episode 11 of Mieruko-chan. And last episode, we still have our evil sensei still being in school, being in the classroom, and causing a great deal of anxiety for our ghost Miko girl. And she's really dealing with that as best she can, but he really, attracts those spirits and stuff, and particularly this one really scary one is, I think, a long neck and stuff. It's around, and that led to the situation of Miko being sandwiched in between that scary ghost and Zen Sensei. So, yeah, if it wasn't for the beacon of light in Miko's life, Hana, who she did make sure to made it pretty clear that she does love and appreciate in that episode. If not for Hana, who knows how that could have ended. So, definitely glad she's there. We also had, I think, this mysterious spiritual entity that's saving Miko. I think it specified that was number 2, the number 2 save. So I guess we'll get a number 3 save at some point, and we're gonna have to see what Miko does after that. So for now, though, we're gonna get into this episode and see how things go down. So 3, 2, 1, play. Bum 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 bum. Oh, was that okay, it's a test. Is that Zen as a kid? Is it? Let me guess, that's not good enough. What? You don't have 100 and you think you get to go out and play? Is there a right answer to that kind of question? Because humans aren't perfect and sometimes you forget things or make mistakes or... This woman really kind of... a little bit unsettling. Just her general disposition is... You can tell something's off. But I feel like that's not true. Okay. Now I have a bit more context. I mean, as soon as we saw her, I figured that'd probably be the cause of his psychoness, and I think that's, pretty clear at this point. What a waste. Did I see your cat? Don't take your aggression out on the cat. The cat didn't do anything wrong. Not that he can hear me, but... Sensei, we're in class. Stop daydreaming. Who could be bothered? Are you eating back there? Behind your textbook. Freaking Hana. Well, that was our start of the episode. And yeah, it seems like it's going to flesh out Zen Sensei a bit more as a character this episode. I mean, that beginning portion by itself did quite a lot for that goal. Moody, moody, moody. I remember back when the evil spirits was all she had to worry about. I'm gonna miss this opening. I really am. Because I think it has passed that threshold where I just will probably at random points in my life just type in YouTube at the opening and just watch it by itself. Of course you want to. Yeah, we definitely have picked up on that. Let's not be silly. Didn't even say anything back. Well, I think he lacks balance, so if we could get some, that would be nice. So we're okay. We're gonna stalk Sensei. What could go wrong? Yeah, the hunger is getting worse and worse. So I really gotta do something about him. Yeah, anyone would be, but your friend's on the line here, so everything Hana's done for us, we have to do this. I wasn't looking at him. I was looking at the guy next to him. That is a problem. Yeah, we don't want to waste a third time. I'm glad she has a good grasp of her overall situation. That's easier said than done. At least he leaves a trail, I guess. Yeah, Neko, yeah. I think we've seen that assignment before or something similar. So, I mean, what exactly do we... Hello? Because as far as getting actual proof goes, like... You couldn't just take a picture of him next to a cat. It would actually have to be him doing something to it for it to count as any kind of evidence. Which, the unfortunate part of that is I would have to let him at least partially do his thing for that to be viable, which is kind of horrible in itself. But I don't know what you'd do otherwise to get proof. Unless you just, find his secret stash of cat corpses in his apartment. I don't know. He probably doesn't have that, but. That is a cat. I really do not want to see this man stab a cat. To be honest, I don't really want to see him touch a cat. Well, there goes the stealth. Your move, Sensei. No going back now. You're the girl that denied me my cat. Jesus, that thing. Well, he's looking at me. It'd be rude not to look back. Trying to stop you, mostly. Get you out of our life. How about no? I don't think he wants to be told no again. Yeah, but then we would have had to sacrifice the cat. That was the only downside. Yeah, Migoroshi, it's not pleasant. At least we didn't hurt the cat in the fall, but... but we really should get up. Is he right behind us? Let's go to somewhere more public to talk. Because you'll abuse them? I'm pretty sure. Wait, what is he talking about? Don't go into traffic. Is this boy about to get isekai'd? Yeah, I am a little bit confused as well. Unless you're going to tell me that those spirits all hang around him for a different reason than him being a murderer. Which, if that's the case, you'll have to explain that to me, Sho. But I was kind of expecting some sort of subversion with this character because of how long they went without him doing anything bad, visibly, right? But I didn't know where else they would go with the character, so I guess we'll see. Nope. Leave me alone. Little motivational side there. 3 exclamation marks. Right, so at the very least, it definitely started with him wanting to take good care of cats. But where do things go wrong? I mean, I can assume the mother probably does something. Like murders his cat because he didn't get a perfect score. I feel like she would do that. That could really mess you up. Which it almost be as bad as burning your Pokemon cards because you didn't eat your dinner. I don't like this atmosphere. Okay, that's probably blood. And here it goes. Okay. It's so tiny. I'm so used to my own cat that's freaking huge. 20-pound cat. Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that was kind of the intention. You know, writing wise. Dark aura of evil looking cat spirits, plus that thing he didn't help anything. Wait, that's probably the mother. That's probably the mother now that I think about it. What? Still a bit of a leap of logic. Yeah, you had stuff around you. Jack Strange everywhere. I wouldn't I wouldn't want to be told that by him, but so what, you're saying they attached him just because he was around roughly when they died? Is that the idea? That's a new character, right? Satoru? It's crazy, isn't it? But he's only interested in cats, I guess. That did come up earlier. Mole. Probably trauma. Afraid of losing it. That's a word for it. Yeah, Sam, the ghost says I probably should have figured it out sooner than I did, but at least I figured it out before the show literally spelled it out for me. Might be a decent amount to say about this episode. Definitely. Well, I mean, it's a little bit different than what you're probably imagining, but the guy still dumped out the one food that the one neighbor lady gave him, right? That was still a horrible thing to do. Such a nice day. Pretty intense wind. Is this supposed to represent her determination or something? What are we gonna say? Okay, we are accepting him. Yeah, he was introduced in the same episode that was talking about not judging books by covers and all that. That was something I was thinking about. Did you shut up? Nobody cares about you. I would use my third save to just kill that ghost at this point. Is she... Yeah, she is talking to her. She's gonna straight up confront the ghost. Actually kinda got chills. Well, you know, confronting, also, you know, taking it outside. Ah, that's slow, smooth animation there. I assume that was the work of the helpful spirit. Yeah, I guess this is number 3. And that's that. Roll credits. Man, when did that come in a couple episodes ago? Her using her third and final trump card to save the man that she thought was an enemy for the longest time. Yeah, this episode went in all sorts of directions I wasn't expecting. I was pretty much fully sucked into the episode the whole time. So, Stinger? Mieruko-chan. Oh, that's the name of the show. Okay. So next episode's probably the last one if it's title dropping the title for the next episode. Okay. That was the 11th episode of Mieruko-chan. And where do I begin with this one? I think the first thing we got was actually the childhood flashback for Zen. Yeah, pretty much he shows up with a score that was 98, which is really good, but not quite perfect, right? You know, the kind of thing that most parents would be like, wow, congrats, you did well, good job, kid. You know, or whatever parents say to their children. You know, they would say that, but not this one. Because rather than being like a glass half full kind of person, she is a glass 2 100ths empty or whatever, right? So her question, her comment wasn't, "Yay, you did great." It was, "Why didn't you do it perfectly?" And I'm not even sure what kind of answer you would give to a question like that. Like, it's not like you planned to get 1 or 2 questions wrong. It just sort of ended up being that way, and you're usually just not going to be able to like reverse engineer your mind to figure out why you got it wrong. Just maybe just some kind of formula you thought you had a good understanding of, but there was some aspect of it that you didn't quite understand, or there was just, anyway, the point was not that easy to answer, really. But it did a good job of making it very clear to the audience what kind of person she was. And pretty much almost pretty soon after that scene started, I started to formulate, the theory that this woman's probably a big part of why Zen ended up, like a psycho cat killer. That's kind of what I was starting to think, and that would make sense because she's obviously not mentally sane, balanced, what do you want to call it? There's definitely something wrong with her, and she made some kind of comment about the father, which also helped connect a lot of dots, and yeah, just a very unhealthy living environment, without question. And just the squeezing of the head and all that, just I hate her. I hate her so much. And then he like stomped on the present, which was horrible, and then he saw the cat, and then I'm like, oh no, it's first victim. I started to get worried about that, but we did learn a bit more later on, because we had the opening, and then we had the stalking, because Miko knows she needs to get him like out of their life because he's having a negative effect on Hana. Because he like brings these spirits in and they're like draining her energy and that's making her hungry. So yeah, it's a bad thing, a problem that she has to solve because that's what friends do for each other, which was kind of mentioned later in the episode. Friends help each other. And yeah, we also had some dialogue, just kind of like refreshing on Miko's general situation about the 3 saves and all that, right? And then we eventually had him run into a cat. Yeah, right about here, just under like a bridge or some kind of dark area out of the way. And Miko about to call 1110. But yeah, she was in a bad position because obviously she can't call and say, hey, I need an emergency. This guy's looking at a cat. Like he has to actually do something bad to the cat. Otherwise, you have nothing to say to the police that would prompt them to come. So Hana would... keep wanting to call her Hana, I don't know why. Miko did not know what to do, really, in that situation, but considering she has a soul, not heartless, she can't just stand there and watch him attack the cat for the sake of evidence. Like, it's an easier said than done kind of thing, right? So, she ended up doing an entirely reasonable thing to do, which was to just burst on in, take the cat and run. Which, of course, is also a little bit reckless because, what if he doesn't take too kindly to having a cat denied from him twice by the same girl? Because he did remember her. He remembered that she did not give him the cat the first time, and was quite disappointed about that. And then we had the scene that was definitely the the moments to where they pulled the rug out from under us to make us doubt everything we thought we knew about that character, and that was when he jumps in the middle of the road to save the cats. And unfortunately, isekai anime have really kind of ruined like car crash kind of scenes, because I can't take them seriously anymore. Every time I see someone on the road, a car or a truck come in, and bam, it's just, my mind pretty much immediately goes to isekai shows, and I can't take it seriously anymore. So that was an unfortunate result that happened onto this, but still, the biggest thing was just the surprise. Although I wasn't quite as surprised as maybe the show wanted me to be, because it had, like I said, it had kind of stretched out the period of him not doing anything bad to the point where I was starting to doubt whether or not he ever would. Like, I got a comment on, I want to say, my last episode of Mieruko-chan. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it should be right about here. I didn't think I had that many stuff before that. But maybe I do. Yeah, okay, I found the comment. Basically says, I love how all Zen Sensei does is just standing there menacingly. And that's what kind of like got me thinking. Zen Sensei showed up in an episode talking about books and covers and all that. and not to judge them by them. And it's we never actually see him do anything bad. Like I think he dumped someone's food out that gave it to him, but there's a big jump between that and like serial killer, right? So, but yeah, that was really all it was. So I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, okay, are they gonna subvert my expectations somehow because of that? But also I wasn't quite sure how they would explain all the dark spirits and stuff lingering around him if that's the case. But I guess the episode basically just explained it as he's around cats when they die, and because he's seeking them out to help them, and they happen to die around him, so they just gravitate towards him, and they're upset, darkened, what do you want to call it, because of how they died. It's not. There doesn't necessarily have to be a connection between their upsetness and the person that they're clinging to. That was just kind of a connection that I made myself. That definitely does not have to be true. So I guess that's all it is. He goes to catch her to save them, and they're dead before he was able to do so, and they just kind of latch onto him. At least I'm pretty sure that's how the show explained it. Feel free to clarify if I didn't quite get that. But yeah, the big one, the big scary non-cat ghost, we got our answer to who that was, and it's the mother herself, which makes sense. She obviously had an obsession with her child, a very unhealthy one, wanting to run his life and all that, and why would she stop after she died? That's just silly. I don't know if they clarified how she died. I mean, maybe he killed her, but I don't know. I just know, unless I missed something, I don't think they clarified how she died. But yeah, she definitely was strict, as the show called it. Yeah, that's putting it mildly, I think. But yeah, that was all some pretty important stuff. But we also had like the first real case of Miko like picking a fight with a ghost, because we already had some couple scenes in previous episodes where she's kind of reevaluating how she deals with the ghosts, and this was kind of like a big step towards that, where she just looks straight at it, tells her how she feels about what the ghost is doing, and tells her to stop, and just gets out of there, because she probably doesn't want to fight in the hospital room itself, and then waits for the spirits to come save her, because it pretty much always does. Like, I don't think it's anything she has to summon. I think it just constantly watches her and shows up when she's about to die horribly by a ghost. So she did that, and now it's been taken care of, but also she's gone. Like, her 3 chances are all gone, so it'll be interesting to see what's next, because we did this on episode 11, not the final episode. So there could be a thing where right before the show is over, they want a chance for Miko to solve something herself, right? Next big scary ghost attack that she deals with that would actually harm her, she can somehow deal with it herself. I don't know how she would, if she wants to start getting some exorcism kind of powers, I don't know how she would go about doing that, but maybe she could talk to Yudia, brainstorm, figure something out. But yeah, that'd be cool. All I know is that there's a reason why the show has it where she only gets saved 3 times, because it's a kind of a form of training wheels where she needs to have enough time to recognize that this is a problem and figure out a solution to it, right? To support her until she gets to that point. So if that is the case, I'm interested to see what her solution is to deal with powerful ghosts that want to attack her. Although it's always kind of odd. I don't really understand how the ghost attacking thing works, because they keep saving her as if the ghost is going to do real harm to her, but we also had the axe ghost that just kind of went through her, scared her a lot, but didn't actually hurt her. So I'm not quite sure how the mechanics on that work. I don't know if the show ever clarified that, but it's always been a bit of a point of confusion for me a little bit. But if the ghosts have saved her, then that heavily implies they could hurt her. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't overthink it too much, but that was the episode. I don't know if I have anything more to say about it. We've definitely, downgraded or upgraded. We changed Zen Sensei from an enemy to just, misunderstood teacher. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends. Doesn't really know love. Just that ghost is so freaking terrifying. Now I know why they put so much effort into making it look scary, because the person she was before she became a ghost was quite scary. So she really just killed that cat. Like, I kind of avoided talking about it, but just could you even imagine how traumatizing it would be? You take a cat home, take good care of it, mother just kills it because she apparently somehow thinks that's the correct thing to do. Like, there's no words for how traumatizing that would be. Like, I'd probably never want to have a pet again for the rest of my life if that happened to me. But I made a bit of a reference to it in the episode, but yeah, it reminded me of one story of a mother that burned her child's Pokemon cards because he wasn't eating dinner or something. I don't know the exact situation, but it came to mind during that. But I don't know if they'll do anything with Satoru, the friend. They introduced him pretty late, like in this episode, so I don't think they're gonna do too much with him. Really, they could have some kind of twist with him where he's a cat abuser, but I don't want to jump to that with no real backing on that theory, but. Because he did say there was someone around abusing cats and we don't know who it is, right? And if that's the case, I don't think we've seen anyone else that could be doing it, really. Because, yeah, there's not really a whole lot of characters in this show. Where we have the one godmother that went out to do her own thing. We have our circle of friends that are obviously all good people. And Zen Sensei's been cleared, has, you know... I know there's one female teacher that got pregnant, I guess, but she wouldn't abuse cats, so... I don't know. If they are implying there is some cat abuser around that we don't know the identity of, I guess they'd have to reveal that next episode. But maybe just not going to be followed up on. I don't know. But yeah, next episode is most likely the final episode. You know, that titular title for the episode title. So, titular title. Anyway, you know what I mean. So... yeah, hopefully we can get some more Yuria-chan next episode. Because she got pretty late in the show for becoming like a real character. So if we could get some more screen time with her on the final episode, that would be nice. But yeah, I think I've talked enough in this video. It was definitely a good episode. Definitely a pretty important one. And I'm pretty eager to find out exactly how they end off this show. So for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, subscribe, notification bell thingy, comment, Patreon, like button. I think I said that already, but yeah, bye-bye.